Welcome to Houston City Beat, a Healthy HOU. I am so excited to be here with you and introduce you to my friend Adriana Rubio-Clasen. Adriana, welcome to Houston City Beat.
Thank you, Lisbet, for having me on the show. I'm so appreciative.
So I came across your MenoWake website, and I was very intrigued as to what you're doing in the space of raising awareness about menopause. It's not really a pause, it's an awakening. Right. And that's the reason why we're here today having this discussion, because I'd love for you to share your story with us and how you came across plant medicine basically changed your life, right?
It did. So about 3 years ago, after a painful divorce, it triggered a lot of unhealed trauma that I had. And I didn't understand it because I had never felt this kind of like internal pain. And so God just led me to try ayahuasca, which is plant medicine, in Costa Rica at a place called Rhythmia. And it's a place, it's super nice resort. It's where all the celebrities go. And so when I was there, the plant medicine, this Mother Nature, this feminine energy. I mean, you could feel it once you take the medicine, that and you go into and you start journeying that it is a female energy, very nurturing. And it took me to places where my heart broke the very first time as a child. And from that point on, you understand what you need to work on, what your triggers are, what needs to be healed inside your body. And during those ceremonies, I felt energy coursing through my body, and beautiful energy, very blissful energy. And so when I came home and I had a hot flash, I was like, wait a minute, this is like exactly how I felt. A hot flash feels like, just a temperature change inside your body. And it's a very strong feeling. You actually break into sweats. You feel it 100%. And so I started thinking about how our Creator created us so perfectly, right? And if you're a Christian, how He chose Mary to birth our Savior. The single biggest act of love in our history. And I thought, there's no way that God would punish Mary with menopause, because for some women, it is a horrible time. And so I started, everything in my life changed when I came back and I started meditating and grounding with nature. And I'd go to Memorial Park and I just wanted to touch grass and plants and ground, when you take your shoes off and you stand on just grass and just connect. And so during all my meditations and all of this, um, I would just ask as I would pray, what is the purpose of menopause in a woman? Like, what were you trying to tell us? What is this? Because I believe that we are designed so perfectly. Our bodies can actually heal themselves. And so I didn't want to, as I was going through this menopause stuff, I did not want to put myself through any kind of pellets or HRT, that could cause cancer and so forth. And I started doing research about herbs. And I have always been a big believer that food is medicine. And so I took herbs from around the world. Um, and the main ingredient was wild jam root, which has dioxygen in it. And so if your progesterone is high, it balances your estrogen and progesterone. And then I added herbs from China, shatavari from India, buguzai from China, danquai from China, and just like 10 other herbs. And I made my own little concoction just for me. It was for me. And all of a sudden, I started feeling incredible. And then, it messes with your sleep. So I made a concoction for sleep. And then my hair was thinning. I made a concoction for my hair. And during one of my meditations, I was asking God, like, God, what is this? What is this? And I kid you not, Lisbeth, the word MenoWake like appeared in my mind, and I had like a little surge of this blissful energy just run through my body. And I was like, oh my God, this is like an answer. So I ran to my car, and I got on GoDaddy and I bought the domain and I built my website. I'm not even technical at all. I built my website, I got my logo, and I started the MenoWake journey,
You
helping
know,
women.
I absolutely love to hear stories about business birthing stories. I love it. And you have a very unique business birthing story. I don't know if you ever looked at it that way, but that's a fabulous background to MenoWake and how it all started. All because you took a trip to Costa Rica. What prompted you to take this trip to Costa Rica? If we can take
I
you back a
had,
few years.
I had, I was married for a year, got married during COVID, and a year later ended up in divorce. And I absolutely adore my ex-husband. We are best friends now,
Mhm.
but back then I was okay with a divorce. It was like, okay, see you later, bye. And then all of a sudden, a few months later, when he went on with his life and got a new partner, oh my gosh, I was devastated. And and all these emotions just came up, and it wasn't love. It wasn't like I wasn't heartbroken about the divorce. It was like I felt abandoned. And so that triggered an abandonment wound that I had from my own father, who, my parents were divorced. And so my dad played professional baseball for Mexico, and, he was gone, and this and that. And so it triggered that wound. And, and I kid you not, from the time that all of this happened to the time that I went to Rhythmia in Costa Rica, I literally I went and saw Reiki masters. I did everything. I didn't know what this was, this pain. And so I was just like, searching everywhere, and all of a sudden I watched this movie. I think it's called like Life is Beautiful. It was like a documentary about a bunch of celebrities that went to Peru to try this plant medicine named ayahuasca. And at the end of the show, it said, if you're interested in plant medicine, go to the website. And I did. I put in my name and information, and I won a scholarship to go. It's like thousands of dollars to go to this place. It's like a 5-star resort turned into a healing mecca in Central America. And, they bring in shamans from Colombia, and they bring icaros, which are music. And during the journey, because it's for 4 or 5 days, you you feel the frequency of music inside your body. Like now, I'm very sensitive. I I don't like music that's violent or obscene or in any kind of fashion that is degrading to anybody. I'm very spiritual. Um, I love Jesus. Okay, let me just get that out there. I love Jesus, but I'm very, very rooted in spirituality with connection to Mother Nature and to this earth. I'm very open um, to all of that because we are made up of energy, and love is energy, but hate is energy. And so I understood very quickly that through the womb, when mothers are pregnant, they can connect the past to the present. Just like you inherited, those beautiful green blue eyes, you also got a download of all the stuff that your ancestors and parents and grandparents did not work through, that was passed down
Mm-hmm.
energetically. That's why some people are born with diseases. Sometimes we don't understand what that is, but now I understand that this was trauma that was not healed, because we come here to heal. We come here, and God will send you, one experience. Oh, you didn't learn your lesson then? He'll send you the exact experience, but magnified, with the intensity. And then if you didn't learn your experience with that person, he's going to send you another person to trigger the healing. And it took me, I didn't learn my lesson with husband number one or this or that. It was until, I finally did something about that pain and not went and looked for another boyfriend to replace that. I actually did the inner work, a lot of breath work, a lot of going deep into my psyche, my heart, my feelings, and so yeah, it's been going on for 2 years, so I'm very happy.
During the time that you were at the resort, what type of foods were you eating, and how did
It's
that
it's all vegan
change?
food. So
It's
before
all
you go to and do plant medicine, you have to, because we are accustomed to eating fast food and sodas and junk food. I've always had this healthy mentality, but I wasn't a vegan, because once in a while I would just crave a steak or something like that. But before you go to do plant medicine, you do have to go through a kind of like a vegan diet, and you also have to abstain from having sex or any kind of alcohol or
wow, that's pretty
yeah, I know.
rough.
I know it was easy for me because at that time I was single,
Oh, yeah, yeah. There,
but
you had a purpose, right?
yes, yes, you're
To get
just
through
kind
it.
of purging because you do go through a purging when you take the medicine. And just so you know, ayahuasca is a vine and tea leaves combined from different species of trees that are in the Amazon. So it's not like, this has been going on for thousands of years, plant medicine. And so, I don't know how they figured out how to blend this tea leaf from this particular species with this other one, but here we are.
Yeah.
There was some kind of divinity, some kind of divine intervention in how they were told how to do this.
And after this awakening, you come back from Costa Rica. How did your diet continue on the same path,
Yeah,
or
yeah, I was like in love with myself and with nature and with people. And it was almost like I was able to see their inner child come out. Um, I knew that where they were hurting, like based on their ego or reaction to things. And so one of the things that also helped me is I had done a guided meditation where I was I, I came in contact with my inner child with little Adriana when her heart first broke, and I was able to connect with her and help her heal that and let her know that it was okay. I'm in
yeah?
charge now. Thank you for protecting me, because your inner child protects you from situations. And so now I offer that same guided meditation to any woman or man out there that needs that healing.
And I know that you had mentioned, and you probably this might be something you don't want to talk about, and if you don't 100% understand, you had mentioned that during this time that you reconnected with your inner child, there was something that came up for you that you had
Oh,
repressed, you forgot
absolutely.
about.
Absolutely. So as a child, your parents entrust you with people, right? And we were during, one of my father's outings, we went to Mexico. We'd always travel back and forth to Mexico. And during that time, um, I I didn't remember this. I didn't recall this. Well, something happened where an adult that was not part of our family tried inappropriate things with me. And it was just possibly, now that the ayahuasca journey brought this out, I remember everything about it. And so that created shame within me. And so for 52 years, I walked around feeling shameful and I didn't know why. You really don't know why, why you're shy or why you feel not worthy or not good enough. You don't know why. There is a foundation, there is something that happened as a child that broke your heart. Um, and so you carry on that shame. And the last night of ayahuasca, the plant medicine showed me that. And I was able to heal that to the point where the universe had this contacted this man somehow, and he called me 3 months after I got back to Houston and apologized. He was like 70 something years old. And he sure did. And obviously I forgave him, because a lot of the healing has to do with forgiveness. So,
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. So tell us about, I know that you love Jesus.
I do.
How does
Yeshua.
that mix with the it doesn't mix with the traditional Christian view of Jesus, these ideas that you live by, right? How do you consolidate those?
Well, I know that our creator had to send somebody to 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 teach us because I'm sure at that time it was out of control, just like it is now,
Just like it is now.
just
Yeah,
like it is now. And so,
exactly.
um, just like our creator put all this herbs and cures that are natural, um, mushrooms as well are part of plant medicine. You know, they truly help. They truly help. So the way I see it is it's just another modality to getting healed, especially if you don't have the resources or you don't understand, you don't have the knowledge in front of you, a good therapist. Ayahuasca, honestly, Lisbeth, is therapy, 15 years of therapy in a bottle.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And, therapy, God bless the therapist, but sometimes it takes years to
Yeah.
peel that onion, and ayahuasca, boom,
Just it did it for
in a
you.
sitting. Yeah.
Are you planning on going back again soon for
Um,
another experience?
I don't I don't feel like I need it because I have the tools, We have the tools here. Um, and I'm so grateful for the experience because had I not been sent to Costa Rica, I wouldn't have birthed MenoWake. I wouldn't have understood how precious a woman is, how this role was given to us, by the creator. He could have created Jesus out of a plant, or out of a rock or whatever, but no, he wanted us to understand this whole process. And so therefore, I understand that his love for women is so great. I mean, we are literally cooking little hearts and ears and pancreases and eyeballs in our belly. I mean, think about the importance of that. We get to bring life and connect the past to the present through our womb. We are very powerful. And I think that we are coming, this is why it's an awakening, because you are awakened to that. You are, this energy inside of you is flowing freely. And I feel it all the time. I feel this bliss that is, I can't describe it to anybody. It's like you're walking and you just grin from ear to ear, and it is beautiful. And that is like God within you. That is the presence of God inside of you. Yes.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful, Diana. What do you say to yesterday? I had a conversation with Lavanya Graham on Let's Talk on Houston City Beat, talking about the difference between sensuality and sexuality and how sexuality is used as a weapon. It's become a weapon against women. What do you feel about what is your view on sexuality and how it fits into or how it hurts us overall in not allowing us to move forward in a way that shows our best self.
So think about this, like for hundreds of years, we have been so disrespected by society in every corner of the earth. With women have been sexualized and used and manipulated, exploited. You know, Here in America, look at the strip clubs, that are allowed, and now it's awful. It's sex sells, and we have been exploited. But if you take a look at the women that are particularly like in strip clubs, what you know I don't think you and I could ever be strippers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we were shown love. Despite my parents' divorce, I was very loved. I have a loving mother. I have a loving family. And it overflowed. There's not a parent, book that we can have as a guide, but there's a difference, because we are so powerful in our being. We had to be exploited, okay, by man. That's just the truth. Look at who the president of Mexico is. She's a woman. She is incredible. She is smart. She is beautiful. She's changing. The entire world is rallying behind her. Um, and the sexualization of women, like what these Kardashians do, what these influencers do, um, and exploiting their bodies and the way that they look and changing all of that. It's just sad that our girls that are growing up are looking to that as they're modeling that behavior. And so the more healing that we do as parents, it heals your generation. And so the more we learn, this is why it's an awakening era now, because we know so much. We know how to bring value to our young girls through education, through love. And when you neglect your children, when you allow things to happen to your children, when you don't show them love, then they end up sexualizing themselves, because sex sells. Sex sells. That's the truth. Sensuality is different. There's two different things, um, that they're very, very different. And I believe that this whole new generation of women are going to be the game changers. Are growing up and educating themselves, and when they have children, they've learned they're going to procreate with the right person. They're going to love, because love is the most powerful thing on this planet, is love. When I felt love at 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 Rhythmia during my ayahuasca journey, it was a love that I had never felt in my life. It was God wrapping his hands around my entire being. It was 10 million times more love than when they handed me my firstborn. It was a beautiful, beautiful experience. And so that teaches you self-love. So when the shame and the abandonment and the hate, whatever you grew up with, leaves your body, its energy, it leaves your body, then you're filled with love. And that makes the biggest difference in your life. And then when you are walking in love, then you can show others to do the same thing. And then you help, through my guided meditations where we release all these things holding you, all these traumas, these ladies experience for the first time like this self-love. And so when people see a change in you and they want to be that change, they're like, oh my God, what did you do? How did you get to that place? Well, look, I had to dig deep and I had to forgive and let go, and here I am. But it's a journey. It's a journey. And along the way, because we're always ascending, God is going to send you another person that's going to trigger you. It isn't, it's not like you just have this enlightenment and, oh, you're, like, no, it's
Yeah.
continual, because just like there's good, there's evil, and evil is energy, and you're going to come across people that are energetic vampires, and you have to watch it. You have to, don't ask if a person leaves your life. They left for a reason. God said, you know what, we don't have time for that. You're going to a whole different place where you're vibrating on a different level. Like when you walk into a room and you feel, oh my God, this is wow. That's because everybody is vibing really high. They're vibing in love. And so you feel it, your soul feels it, because everything is energy. And then you go to a place and you're like, oh my God, what is going on in here?
Yeah.
Because you feel the low vibration, because everything is energy. So, that entire segment is being studied right now. That music is healing. The vibration of music is healing. So watch what you see on TV and what you listen to, because that changes your vibration. And so you always want to be at a high vibration. Always want to lead with love.
That is true, definitely. And that even applies to the food that you eat,
Absolutely.
and the people you surround yourself with, and pretty much your entire personal world as you walk through your day.
Absolutely.
So yeah. So what are your plans for the rest of the year in
So,
terms of growing your spiritual practice, in terms of MenoWake, and spreading that information out to other women?
So with MenoWake, I want to add different products. I'm in the process. So on top of the wild jam cream that balances your hormones, I have the night night that helps you sleep, the hair serum. I have a roll on to carry in your purse. And then I made a tea blend with hibiscus, butterfly pea, soursop that kills cancer, nettle that's good for your liver and your kidneys. And oh my God, there's one more, cinnamon that's good for your blood sugar. And so I have this tea blend, and I sell the whole package together. It's called the Awakened Woman. But I'm also, because everything changes in your body, like your diet needs to change, right? Because instead of fueling yourself, we have fueled ourselves like vehicles. When you go to the gas station, there's like premium, unleaded, and then there's like three, right?
Yeah, three. Yeah.
And these nicer cars, you can only use the premium gas. Well, we think about it like this. We have been going to the gas tank, which is the grocery store, our body, right? Our body is our car. You need to feed it nothing but premium gas.
And most people choose the regular stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the regular stuff is food that is bad for you. All this, sugar and processed foods and so forth. So our body was designed So it works perfectly to eat more vegetables, to eat grains and vegetables and organic food, not not meat, not meat. And so you got to treat yourself like you're a Maserati and not like a Ford Focus. I'm sorry to the Ford Focus drivers, but and so I'm adding new products. I'm adding a product for your face. I'm 54 years old, and people always tell me, like, Adri, your face looks great. What do you do? Well, let me tell you what I do. I use, I have a little concoction. It's going to be called the Pretty Face of MenoWake. And then I want to add like a cortisol, because when you're stressed, when you're not taking care of yourself, and that's where that little pooch that women get, that's just stress.
Mm-hmm.
It's stress. And so I'm going to have a cortisol cocktail, and I'm also going to have a smoothie. But all of this takes time. I got to try. I'm the tester, so I have to try it out on myself.
Yeah.
And then, but what I want MenoWake to be, because, well, I was going through the whole menopause thing. There wasn't a store that we could walk into and say, "Oh my God, like, show me, educate me," with products. And they didn't have that, but they sure do have a Victoria's Secrets for sex. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So,
Priorities of
yes,
society, right?
exactly. And
Yeah.
and the menopausal industry is a $26 billion industry, but you can't walk into a store and be educated, and a place where, so my dream is going to be called the Awakened Woman. And it's a store where you can walk in and you're going to have all the MenoWake products. I want to be the Amazon of menopause. Okay. You don't have to just try my products, but if I find a product that is awesome, I'm going to sell it. And so you're going to walk into the Awakened Woman, and you're going to find the comfiest pillows and cooling sheets and books and candles and all the things that just that where you can pamper yourself during this time. And also my MenoWake products, along with other things, down to possibly sex toys. I don't know yet, but
Yeah.
I think that what our creator intended for this time is for us to be healed, and for our chakras not to be blocked, and for this flow of this life energy to flow in us, and where you get creative and you spread that love to anyone. And so that is my goal.
That sounds like a beautiful goal, Adriana, and I hope to have you come back on a Healthy HOU and share more stories with us. And
Absolutely.
perhaps we can schedule one of these meditation journeys that you talked about.
It would be my honor to take you on that journey, like I have for a lot of women here in Houston.
Yeah.
I know exactly why it worked for me, and I have added, different little, because when you're in meditation, you're just following that voice, right? And so I take you along to meet your inner child, and I take you along to talk to your ancestors and whoever shows up for you. It is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. One day I'll have the courage to do, like, maybe 10, 20 people at a time, but
Yeah.
it is my privilege because I went through it. And so now I have to show the world
Yeah.
on how to, take that step to helping yourself.
Yes. Well, thank you, Adriana. It was great to have this conversation with you, and I look forward to many more on A Healthy HOU.
Yes, thank you so much, Lisbet. Talk to you soon.